Finally, we're at the finish line, but I still got to talk about this film. The last film in this Meg-A-Shark 8-film collection pack, Shark Zone, which, I'll be honest, there were some parts that I skipped through towards the end because I'm just ready to get this over with. So I don't know how much of a review or rant this is going to be. But get into the film, the plot. You have the only survivor of a shark attack, Jimmy Wagner, must face the same great white sharks 10 years later as they return for a second round to terrorize a beach resort. And that's pretty much the plot. I mean, and I'm going to pull up the IMDb here, for reference, but this movie's bad. It's a pointless movie. The cast, starting off with the cast, you got the main character, Jimmy Wagner, who is played by Dean Cochran, which this guy is a poor man's Dean Cain. I'd much rather see Dean Cain than Dean Cochran. I could buy Dean Cain more. Give me that one. Give me that film where Dean Cain goes after some sharks. I didn't care for this actor. I didn't care for this character. I didn't care for... He was just bland. This guy was bland. The rest of the cast is bland. I didn't care for one character. Again, the character in Shark Attack 2, I thought he was okay. Better than John Barrowman and better than Dean Cochran. Which again, this guy... In Shark Attack 3, the main character is a poor man's Tom Cruise. This guy is a poor man's Dean Cain. So you got poor man's Dean Cain leading the film that I don't care about. Danny Lerner, who unfortunately passed away, he directed this film. And sort of a well-known producer. I mean, he produced Expendables 1 and 2. And he produced also The Replicant with Van Damme and some other action films. And again, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. And it gets a 2.7 on IMDb. So, in case people wonder. But this film is just a pile of nothing. Maybe it's just at this point that I've seen all these really bad films. It just blends in. Like, if I had to choose between watching Shark Attack 3 and this one, I'd watch this one, but it's not saying much. It's really not saying much. It's not. I mean, the film opens up, you get a really bad score that sounds like a Pirates of the Caribbean score. It's like if you were on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney World. Like, it has that kind of music. The opening scene has that kind of opening score. Just really bad. And then you get into this whole subplot about this ship where you got... The film opens up with a narration in the 1790s. You have a pirate ship. And, of course, it sinks. And there's a treasure. I mean, and then sort of getting into the film, you got the scene where you have the divers, you have the main character, they go diving below, and that's where the sharks come. The sharks, they come in and they eat up a few people, so you get some bodies, you get some blood, but a lot of it is reused footage. It's like, I've seen that before in this movie. I've seen that before. Oh, that was in Shark Attack 2. That was in Shark Attack 3. It's like, I've seen this shot. It's either you've seen the same shot before with these sharks, or they reverse the shot as far as like the attacks. Or it's very quick cut that you can't see nothing. So you got a lot of that. A lot of stock footage. But that's like the only scene in the film where you get somewhat of a body count is where the divers in the beginning are, exploring, I guess, the wreckage, and the sharks come in and they eat people, But somehow the main character, even though one of the sharks grabs the whole... This is how stupid this movie is. Even while, like, there's a scene where the shark comes in, grabs the main character, and he's dragging him down, but for some reason the main character breaks free, gets up to the surface, and you have a helicopter coming in, and then suddenly, like, the main character's out swimming the shark. And how fast a great... Someone out there, please, for those that know about sharks, how fast do great whites move? And this guy was able to outswim the shark and get a helicopter, was able to drop down a cable. But I know I shouldn't think about it. But the main character gets out unscathed. The rest of the crew gets eaten. Stupid. And then you have, your beach scene where the sharks terrorize the beach. Even though a few people get killed, a lot of it, again, stock footage, or it's reused, or it's just badly done. Or a lot of it is people that you'll see them get pulled underwater, and then it'll cut to, like, blood in the water. So you don't see nothing. And, of course, you got the one character like the mayor that, I want to keep the beaches open. Again, you rip off from Jaws. It seems like every single one of these films, there's a little wink or nod to Jaws. It gets tiresome. And, kind of getting towards the end, you have these sort of bad guys. I guess they want the treasure. They kidnap the main character's son. And I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit for a good reason. But then you have a couple of scenes sort of in the middle where it's funny. It's actually a funny scene. But don't ask me, to explain certain things because I don't think it's important to acknowledge plot points with these films. But you have a couple of shark cages. And you have some divers in these cages. Or maybe just like one or two divers. And the main character's on a boat. The shark comes in, gets into the cage. And I swear this happens twice. You'll have one diver get out. He's swimming towards the boat. He's swimming towards the boat. The main character's like, come on, you can do it. Come on, swim. Shark eats him. Another diver gets out, swims towards the boat, and the main character's like, come on, you can make it, come on, swim faster, and the shark eats him. It's like, this is really borderline comedy. I'm just waiting for the third diver to get out of the cage and swim towards the boat and get eaten. Like the main character, I'm like, get off your ass, Dean Cain wannabe, and do something. You poor man's Dean Cain. But basically, leading all towards the end, again, you have your bad guy that I don't care about. The action is lame. Whenever there's action bits, it's lame, forgettable, and then like you have, I guess, towards the end as well, where the bad guy's divers, he sends them after the wreckage, I guess, to retrieve the treasure, what have you. And when the divers go into the boat, the main character, because the bad guy had punched him in the mouth, he spits some blood in the water to attract the sharks. Again, spits blood into the water because he got punched in the mouth, hoping that the sharks will come to kill the bad guys. And I forgot the bad guys come up, and I just don't really care. And the film ends, and that's pretty much it. But this movie, God, that's all I got. Shark Zone it's bad. It just like with all these films, they're bad. And I'm relieved. It's over. I'm so relieved. Because these films, all 8 films, suck cock. They do. Easily some of the worst shark films that I've seen. And again, I think I said this in my review rant of Shark Attack 3, but if you still think Jaws 4 is the worst, I dare you to go back and watch one of these. Seek out this Meg-A-Shark collection pack, or watch Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, or Shark in Venice. I'm just glad it's over. Now I need to go back and watch some good movies, and one thing I'll mention about this film, Shark Zone, the end song I thought was okay. The end song, I thought was okay, but that's it. That's not, talking about the last film. Out of all these films, and the end song is okay, maybe because I'm just glad it's over. Maybe that's it. That I'm glad it's over. That I'm okay, the end song to Shark Zone is okay, but I'm just glad it's over. Maybe it's that. As far as the worst, top 3 worsts, I would say the worst is, God, I would say, the 3 worst. Probably at number 1, I'm just thinking about this. I didn't really plan this, but I didn't. God, I mean, you know what? I would say as the worst, if I think about it, probably this one, Shark Attack 3, Megalodon. I think that's the worst. And then second would probably be Shark in Venice. And then the third one, Malibu Shark Attack. Those 3 are the worst. And, again, going back just to quickly recap, Toxic Shark, it's really bad. It's a stupid creature feature that's all dumb and no fun. Shark in Venice is abysmal. Malibu Shark Attack is just as abysmal. Sharkman, it's the redhead of this collection pack. It's still a bad movie, but you do have William Forsythe handling a weapon, being the main character, but it's not enough. It's a train wreck. It's one of those that you can't keep your eyes off of. Shark Attack was very boring. Casper Van Dien was very tedious performance. One note, I should say, it's a very tedious film. Shark Attack 2. If there's one film that I could probably bear throughout this collection pack, would be that one. Shark Attack 2, but it's not saying much. Shark Attack 3 is the worst. Shark Zone is just bad and pointless and boring and led by wannabe Dean Cain. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this Meg-A-Shark collection pack, and thank you for watching. We'll see you later.